is Daniel. But if it is Daniel, it will now say logged in successfully. Let's see. You can see logged in successfully because that is Daniel. That is the if statement, the control structure if statement. Then the next one is you can introduce multiple if. You can say if name is Daniel, if name is this, if name is this. You can say if name is Daniel, or let me just copy this to speed up my typing process. Or the second one is Udokike. You can then print logged in as Dokike. Let me say logged in as Daniel. Print logged in as Udokike. Then if this the third one is do, do I have what do I have there? Okay, Michael. If it is Michael, then I will say print out logged in as Michael. Yeah. So let's start. This first, second, and third. So if you look at this very well now, this will print logged in as Daniel. It will come down here and print logged in as Udokike. Then it come down here and print logged in as Michael. So let's check it out. You can see logged in as Daniel, logged in as Udokike, logged in as Michael. So, but instead of having this, let's make this a little bit logical by saying if this is this, then we'll now say L if because we want to have it executed under one control structure. L if then or L if. So we'll now say if this is Daniel, L if this is this, L if this is this. So looking at this now, it is only one that will get executed at a time. So once we run this, it will only print Daniel logged in as Daniel. So let's see that. It print as logged in as Daniel. But how about the first one is not Daniel? If it is not correct, it will now go for the second check. Let's say Dokike. It will now go for the second check. If the second check is correct, it will now execute this. If the second check is not correct, it will now go down to the third check. Now let's execute this and see. Now you can see logged in as Udokike. It goes to the second block of code because the first one was not correct. If this second one was not correct, it will now go for the third one. Then if the third one is not correct, it will now go for the else. If all of these check are not correct, what will you do? Print username not found. So let's change this to Daniel and this one to Udokike. So okay, yeah, this one to Udokike. So that we'll find out that username not found to show that the first item is not Udokike, the second item is not Daniel, and the third item is not Udokike. So let's run and see. You can see username not found to tell you that everything, all the check there, all the three checks we had there, this, they were not found in the database. They were actually found anyways in the tuple, but the position of this Daniel, the first element in this position is not Daniel, it's not Udokike rather. The second element is not Daniel. The third element is not Udokike. So the first element is Daniel, the second element Udokike, and the third element is Michael. All right. Another important thing for we to cover here is the loops. Yeah, a loop is a control flow in Python programming language that um, repeats a block of code or repeat recipe of instruction provided a given condition is met. For instance, you are asked to write a program that prints the word hello world into 10 places. Let's go and do that and see how a loop can help us cover a repeated task. Print hello world, and let's copy this and paste it into 3 places, into 10 places rather. Is that up to 10? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, just let's just leave it this way. So if you are to write a program that prints hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world, you can look at see how messy and how a kind of repetition of tasks is being done here. So a good approach in programming language is to apply dry method. We are going to be applying this after learning the basic. So a good method is to apply a dry method in Python programming language. Dry means don't repeat yourself. That is DRY. Do not repeat yourself in Python programming language. But you can see we have a lot of repetition here. Hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world, and hello world. Let's execute this first and see the output. You can see hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world here into many places. Now, but this is what a loop can help us to achieve. We have two loops in Python programming language. We have the for loop, we have the while loop. Yeah. The for loop is used to repeat a particular task provided a given condition is met. The same thing, a while loop is used to repeat a particular task provided a particular condition is met. But both of them have two different approach. One common thing about them is they provide the repetition of tasks when through a particular condition or whenever a particular condition is met. But they have different approach in achieving this task. So let's run this. Let's take away this buggy, ugly looking hello world here. And let's print, or let's say for. To start a for statement, say for. Then let's introduce a range built-in function that produces a list of numbers from 0 to the last number minus 1. For instance, if you have range 10, this function will return a list of numbers from 0 to 9. So it's always one less than the highest number. So it will return a list of numbers from 0 to 9. If you have range 20, it will return list of 0 to 19. You can as well tell the range function or give it an argument for where to start from. If you have range, let's say 2, comma 20, then it will start from 2 and end at 19. You can as well tell it the step, either to jump one after the other, something like 1, 2, 3, 4, or to jump a particular step. You can say range 2, comma 20, then comma 2. So it will print 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So let's just have an example of this. We can say print, sorry, for I in range 10, then print I. Now this will run into 10 places, printing the current value of this. So we are transversing, we are iterating over the list that is generated in this range function. So let's execute this. We have 0 to 9. You can see it here, 0 through 9. Then if we say, let it start from 2 and execute the program, you have 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6. So it started from 2 instead of 1. Then you want it to jump 2, and that's to have an increment of 2, step of 2. Then you can add the last one. If you hover over this, you can see it is a built-in function. This is the first, the element, the target. This is the first index, the target index, and this is the step. When you run this, we have 2, 4, 6 all through 8 because 9 is not included as well. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8. Because if you include 2 to 9, it will give you 11. But the last element we are looking at is 9. So that's why we have 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, let's implement this approach to print the word hello world. Let's include 10 here because we are looking at printing 10 hello world. And remember, 0 to 9 is 10 items. So print hello world and run this program. Instead of having long item of hello world, you can see that we achieved this task, the same task using just two line of code. We achieved the same task that we would have used about 10 to 11 lines of code to write. So that's the for loop. So we can as well do this using while loop. And we have to introduce a kind of if statement that will help us to break out of that loop. We can say um, while. Let's first of all introduce a variable here called a num. We say num equals 10. Or let's start from 0. Num equals 0. Then we'll now say while true, or we can say while num is less than 10. Then we'll now say print hello world. Then we'll now say num equals num plus 1. Let me first of all run this program and explain what is happening under the hood here. I'll run the program, then we see the same hello world printed 10 times. You can see it here. All right. First of all, we declared a variable num and assign it to. Well, let's just make it explicit and call it counter. And copy this and say counter, counter, and counter. So you can see counter is counting variable, sorry, increment. And that's why it's advisable to make your variable names explicit. So if anyone sees this, you know that counter is keeping count of what is happening in this loop. So let's execute and ensure we have the same result before I proceed to the explanation. Okay, all right. So here we declared a variable called counter and assigned a value of 0 to it. Now, while loop is this? It checks if a condition is met. That's what a while loop does. It first of all checks if a condition is met. If it is met, then it goes over to executing that program. It comes back again to check it. If it is met, it goes into the block of that while loop and executes any content of that while loop. And the for loop first of all executes before checking if it meets the condition. So that's it. So here we have while counter is less than 10. Whenever counter is less than 10, continue executing. It's like while while you are not done eating, or while you are not satisfied, or while there's light, or maybe while anything, you can continue doing this. So that's how it is. All right, so here we say while counter is less than 10. Here counter is 0. While counter is less than 10, is 0 less than 10? Yes, print hello world. Then add 1 to counter. So this is a compound assignment of counter equals counter plus 1. So here counter is a variable name. The counter here assumes the value of this counter up here. Then we add 1 to it. So counter becomes 1. It checks again, is 1 less than 10? Yes, print hello world. Add 1 to 1 becomes 2. Is 2 less than 10? Yes, print hello world. Add 1 to 2 becomes 3. Up till 9. Yes, 9 is less than 10. Print hello world. Add 1 to 9 becomes 10. Is 10 less than 10? No, it breaks out of the loop. That is how it works over there. So looking at our name here, you can see there's a little bit of a way we can refactor our code instead of having this print name 1, 2, 3. It is not dry. We're repeating ourselves in an approach there. So the best way to transverse over a list or a tuple is using a for loop or a while loop. So here we can achieve this by saying for I in range, how many items are here? 1, 2, 3. So for I in range 3, then we'll now say print student names, then I. Now remember that this first thing, the first item here is 0. The second item is 2. Then it will not, sorry, the second item is 1. Then the last item is 2. It will not print 3 because the range items returns a number, and the last index is always one less than the number here. So, and this correspond to the index of this list here, where we have 0, 1, and 2. So on running this, um, let me bring it down here. Let me copy this too and bring it down here so that we can have it as the last executed line of instruction. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Let me take this out. All right, so we can execute this, and here we have it. Okay, so here we have it. Daniel, Udokike, and this. So we have it here. Daniel, Udokike, and Michael. And this is it here. Over here, we're using a for loop. So let's implement the same thing here as well. By saying for I, we can even copy this and do it over the same way for the top one. Now we still have the same printed. So I have this assignment for you. Maybe you can comment your solution to this question down in the comment section below. So I want you to iterate over the items in the student names tuple and that of student names list. So iterate over it using a while loop and print each element. So that is your assignment, and just share your solution to that in the comment section below. All right. The next thing we need to cover here. All right, guys. I want to thank you very much for staying along with me. I ought to be completing the concept of functions in Python programming language in this video, but this video is getting more than expected. It's close to an hour now, so I'll be starting my next video from function, the concept of function, how to write functions in Python programming language. So I want to thank you very much for staying along with me. Hit the like button if you love this video, and if you want to be seeing more content like this, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell notification so you get notified whenever I release a new video. Thank you very much, and stay safe.